This is the Average to Savage podcast with Paul Guarino. Everyone and anyone, athletes, celebs, and much more.
What's up, everybody? I'm back for another episode of the Average Savage podcast. Got a special guest, Marlon Moraes, 135 bantamweight, top contender right now. Marlon, what's up?
What's up, my man? Everything good?
Yeah, good,
awesome
good.
to be here on the podcast.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on. So let's just jump right into it. How did you get into mixed martial arts?
I started training when I was 9 years old. I was back home in Brazil, in my town, Nova Friburgo, in Rio de Janeiro.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my friends, that was a girl, she told me, I'm doing kickboxing, and and I said, I want to be around this girl, you know.
Yeah.
And I went to the kickboxing, but I just want to be around the girl, you know, talk and shit. And things got serious, and I started like the kickboxing, and she left, she stopped training, I kept training, and I started to compete. I went to a competition, maybe I was 8 months training.
Yeah.
I won, and I fell in love with the sport, and I just kept doing.
Gotcha. So how did you make the move from Brazil to the U.S., and what was that transition like?
Like I was saying, I started young, you know.
Yeah.
I did a lot of competitions, a lot of kickboxing, a lot of Muay Thai. And I was 15. My friend told me, hey, man, you should do jiu-jitsu because you like MMA, you know, maybe you can fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started training. I started training jiu-jitsu. I started to like jiu-jitsu as well. And I was 18. I got a fight, MMA fight, but things was hard in Brazil. I have a job.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to school and training. It was hard to do everything. And at some point, I have to stop training hard a little bit. I was training once in a while, you know, a couple of days a week. But I still wanted to compete. I was still competing, and I have a little bit tough, maybe 2-3 years, and doing that. But I finished school. I quit everything, and I started just train and teach. And later on, Edson Barbosa, he came here. He was living in Florida, and he signed with UFC. And he said, hey, man, if you want to come here, you can come here. You can teach at the gym. And the gym, the Armory back there, they paid for my visa.
Yeah.
And I came here. I came here for teach, and this is how I got here.
Gotcha. When you got here, did you already know English, or did you have to like learn it on the fly?
No, I brought my dictionary on the plane, and then I started to learn on the plane on the way here. I'd say hello, what's up.
Gotcha. That's crazy.
But I had a couple words, you know. I went to London 2 times, 2 months. I knew how to say hello, you know, and not and ask for food, you know, for something easy. But that was it, you know. And I started learning everything here, like in 2011.
Gotcha. So your breakout was in the World Series of Fighting. So who like discovered you to get into that?
I was in Florida, and I was teaching out there, and Edson had a couple tough fights in the UFC, and he wants to make a change. And Frankie Edgar invited him to come here in New Jersey, and he brought me with him, and we start training here with these guys, and at some day I was sparring, and this guy, Ali Abdelaziz, he sparred me a little bit, and he said, man, I think I can get you a fight. And that's how I met him, and how he started managing me, and he got me a fight on the World Series. That's how it was.
Gotcha. So you went on a tear in the World Series of Fighting. You went on an 11 fight win streak, and you became the bantamweight champion. And then UFC signed you in 2017. So what was that whole experience like?
Yeah, man, it was a tough road. You know, I went to the World Series, and I got there, I was like nobody, you know, and I started to build my name, and I became a champion, and I started to fight for the title with a lot of good guys, but guys that a lot of people didn't know, you know, so it was a lot of responsibility over my shoulders, and I was a ranking guy, and fighting all those good guys coming from everywhere, and it was hard. It's easier in the UFC. You know who's going to be the contender, you're watching the guys, and you know all the top 15 guys, so you know you have a notion of who you're going to be competing against. So but what was it? I enjoy, I enjoy the road. I learned so much when I was series of fighting with all the employees, a lot of good people out there and honest people. They helped me and they built the fight that I am today, I'm very thankful and I had good emotions, I was a world champion, I held a belt, I defended the belt, I fought in different countries, I fought in many cities in America. I was able to go places that I've never dreamed before. So it was good. The road was great, but my goal was being in the UFC. And after a couple of years, I started to think so much about this, and I kept working hard. And the opportunity came, and I didn't sign with the UFC. We prefer stay in the World Series. But later on, the opportunity came again, and we saw that was time,
Yeah.
But they come back, and I did one more fight, but after that one, that was it, I need something else. I need to go somewhere. I need to pursue something bigger, and this is what I did. I moved to the UFC, and that's how I got to the UFC.
Yeah. So you had a tough first loss, it was by split decision, but you're on a three fight winning streak right now, and you have back-to-back fight of the night performances, and your last fight was a KO to Jimmy Rivera, and he was on like a 20 fight winning streak. In 33 seconds you beat him in June. So what's next for you?
I don't know, man. I fought tough competition, I proved I'm a challenger, and I want to fight for the belt.
Yeah.
But let's see what's gonna happen, and hopefully we come to a good decision, and I have the fight that I want. If not, I'm gonna keep fighting. I'm gonna keep putting the show and performing for the fans. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was gonna ask you. So I know you want to fight TJ Dillashaw, but if that doesn't happen, who would you fight, or who do you want to fight?
There's a couple guys that I want to fight. I can fight Cruz. I can fight.
Yeah.
Maybe I can rematch with Assunção,
Yeah.
and then we decide who's next, But let's see, man. I'm confident, and hopefully I get the shot.
Yeah, I think eventually you'll end up fighting TJ Dillashaw. So how do you think that fight would play out?
I think TJ Dillashaw is the best, best in the division. He's able to fight everywhere, and he's a mixed martial artist. But he got holes, He got holes on his game. Everybody has.
Yeah.
And I believe in a good given day, I can upset him. I can bring big pieces to the table that could put him in trouble. I believe that, and he does too. We keep hearing it that him and his coach, they matching me up against Cruz. Why they say that Cruz should fight me? They gotta say. If they think I'm tough, I'm tough, I can give Cruz trouble. Why not give him trouble,
Yeah.
And that's what upsets me a little bit. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. Have you ever sparred TJ?
No, I never spar. I never see. That's good,
Yeah,
that's always the first time, and it's good to fight somebody you don't know at all.
Gotcha.
But I know this guy. I've been watching him for a long time.
Yeah.
And we all know each other on the top 10.
Yeah, definitely. So for those that don't know, where do you train out of, and who are you training with?
Live in Tom's River, when we go train Nicaton, MMA, we go to Renzo Gracie. But my main coaches are Frankie Adgar. He's a fighter, but he helps me a lot with my wrestling. And Mark Henry is my head coach, and Ricardo Almeida. We work hard here, have Ryan coming here too for kickboxing. And the train been great, man. I'm very happy right here, and this is where I'll be. I can't wait to sign for my next fight and just put everything together.
Yeah, definitely. So what would you say your most memorable fight is to date right now?
I think it was the last one,
Yeah.
Like most of the people, the fans, they just remember about your last fight, but
True.
in our head, it's a little bit like that too. I think the last fight keeps blinking on our head, but I believe my first fight in the World Series of Fighting was a big fight for me, was a breaking point, when I fought Miguel Torres and I proved to the world I belong there, and I'm legit and I'm a fighter. I'm a tough fight for anybody.
Yeah, I think your previous two fights, I know definitely the last one you went pretty much viral like all over ESPN, stuff like that. What was that like?
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was great, man,
Yeah.
to see a lot of people talking about me and recognizing the hard work I've been putting on. You know, we work hard. Of course, I have my dreams. I want to help my family out. You know, I want to provide for my son. But it's good when you go to work and you do work and people recognize you did good. You know, and this is awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think your name's getting bigger and bigger out there. So we're gonna get some fun questions now. So how'd you get the nickname Magic?
Man, I got from Frankie and Chris Ligori.
Okay.
Chris Ligori trained with us too as a fighter, and these guys kept saying Magic Marlon, Magic Marlon. That's how I got the nickname.
And do you like it?
Yeah, I like it. You know, it's hard to find the nickname, but I think they found a good one for me.
Yeah, for sure. It's always great when somebody else comes up with your nickname and not.
Yeah. It's in Brazil we always say, if you like your nickname, people gonna stop to call you your nickname. Always in the beginning you have to fight against.
Yeah.
So then people gonna keep saying.
Yeah, definitely. So what do you like to do in your free time when you're not training?
Free time, I like to stay with my family. I like to stay with my wife, my son. We go out together. We go to good restaurant. I like food a lot, and I like play video game a little bit, soccer, and I like go to movies. I like a lot of stuff, you know.
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food is Brazilian food, man.
Yeah.
I love Brazilian food. I love rice and beans, steak. But I like any food. I gotta be honest with you. I don't like much Russian food. I just went to Russia, and that was the only time in my life that I had problems to find food.
What's your favorite American food?
I like American breakfast, man.
Breakfast
in the United States is the best. Eggs, bacon, hash browns.
Yeah.
I love it.
So do you
I start to like a lot coffee here.
Coffee?
I don't know if it's because of the cold, but I drink a lot of coffee. In Brazil, I never drink coffee.
Yeah, so you go back to Brazil a lot?
I try to go once in a while, Every time I have a chance to go there. Parents are getting old, I wanna see them, see how they are, and see my friends, and that's it, man. Brazil is great, but it's kind of hard to live out there now,
Yeah.
Me and my friends, we always talk. Brazil now is just for vacation. Go out there 2 weeks, and that's it, man. It's kind of rough out there now.
Yeah, I remember watching one of your other interviews, and you said your parents didn't want to move to the U.S. even though you wanted to move them out here, right?
Yeah, my parents, they don't know, my parents are humble, they grow up poor, and they don't believe they can go to United States,
Yeah.
It's, in their mind, it's not a reality.
Yeah.
But if they come here and then see how safe it is, how enjoyable it is, I think they might like. Because in Brazil, it's hard.
Yeah.
Because that's some things that we don't think happen there. Like here, you just walk in the street, you somebody call you, you see a text message. And in Brazil, you can't carry your phone on your hand. If you carry your phone in Rio, somebody's gonna come and gonna steal. And if you have a watch, a nice watch, somebody's gonna see it. They're gonna try to rob you. You can't wear gold, and it's kind of rough.
Yeah.
It's just people in Brazil. We're all losing our freedom. Our rights just to walk in the street. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's a whole different world. So, are you watching anything on Netflix right now?
Yeah, I love the crime stuff. I watch it. I watch the whole forensic files. I just watch I'm a Killer, and I watch the Evil Angels. The Evil Genius.
Oh, you got you.
I watch all the crime and all the prison documentaries. I like to hear from these people. And every time I hear and I see that mostly of these criminals, those people that do crazy things, they have hard times growing up.
Yeah, for sure.
Alcohol. The parents were never home. They never helped the kids. That's crazy, man. And this helps me a lot. And we gotta keep our focus on our kids. That when they are young, they're gonna that's gonna reflect when these kids grow up. You know, we gotta focus and be a good parent. You know, give them the right advice and not just the advice, it's the example.
Yeah, for sure. I know you have two kids now, right? Or you didn't?
Yeah, I have one boy, Rafael, and I have another one on the way. My wife is gonna give birth soon.
Yeah, when's she due?
She due November 11th.
Oh, okay, cool. Would you want your son to be an MMA fighter?
I don't know, man. I want my son to be a good guy, you know?
Yeah.
No matter what he do, I just want him to do the right thing and follow the right path.
Yeah. Oh, you're big into soccer, too. You like soccer, right?
Yeah, I love soccer, man. I love soccer. I watch all games, you know. Today, La Liga, the Italian league. This year is gonna be excited because Ronaldo just moved to Juventus. I think it's gonna be cool this year.
Yeah, definitely. Did you watch the World Cup?
Yeah, I watched. I was upset with Brazil, but we knew Brazil was going to have hard times. But I was happy because the team that won, you know, France was doing good. They were playing beautiful football. And Belgium did good too. You know, I think this World Cup was Belgium and France World Cup was good. I enjoy. And September 7th, Brazil coming to play here at United States, and I'm definitely gonna go watch in New Jersey.
Yeah, definitely. It was a good World Cup. Do you know any of the Brazil players on the national team?
Yeah, I know some, and I know a couple players from different teams. You know, some guys from my city. And when I was young, I played a little bit soccer too. I have a couple friends that they play for professional teams in Brazil.
Gotcha. You gotta get them to your fight.
Yeah, I wanna get some of these guys to go watch my fight. I have a friend. He plays for the San Antonio FC and soccer, and he always asks me. We want to make it happen this time.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. How about this one? Can you teach me like a word or two in Portuguese?
One word in Portuguese?
Yeah.
You don't know any?
Nah.
I'm gonna teach you one. Campeão.
All right, how do you say it?
Campeão.
Campeón?
Campeão, yeah.
Campeón.
Champion.
You're about to be a campeón.
Yeah, this is why I taught you this word. That was on purpose.
That was perfect. That was perfect setup right there. I like that. So I appreciate you coming on. So can you tell the listeners where they can find you on social media?
Man, it's Marlon Moraes, you know, or Twitter and Instagram, Marlon Moraes, and you guys can follow me out there, you know, and see how we do, how we train, how we fight, and know a little bit more about me, you know. Yeah,
for sure. I know you guys train hard out there, so I appreciate you coming on the podcast, and good luck in the future, and I hope to see you fighting for the belt next fight.
Thank you so much, my friend. Have a good day.
All right, you too. I appreciate it.